All right, folks, we are back. It's Tuesday. The dynamic duo, West Coast Godfather and the Dusty One. We call it Dusty Vision. It's about to go down, folks. Get ready. Here I come. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve After Dark to concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather, West Coast Hip Hop. We do this every Tuesday. Dusty and Lonzo, dynamic duo, riding into the West. Riding into the West.
Oh, yeah. What up, Lonzo?
Man, doing what I do and enjoying every minute of it. What's happening with you?
Yes, sir, man. Can't complain. Another beautiful day out here in LA. I'm kind of hoping it stays this way. Feel like it's gonna be a hot summer, man.
Man, if it is, my yard gonna be a mess. Boy, I had to hit my yard Saturday, but after all that rain, man, I was tired of the summer, dude.
That was a lot of rain, bro. I don't think for a short period of time I haven't seen that much rain. I don't think ever, dog. Are you talking about the rain that hit us like maybe 4 a.m. from like 7, something like that?
I'm thinking about the whole process.
That shit's crazy.
I was telling my buddy, I said, last time I saw rain like this, man, was back in the early to mid 80s. El Nino was the first time it hit. And I remember, dude, the Eve almost got shut down because of the weather. Dude, I couldn't catch a break for like 6 weeks straight, dude. Every Friday and Saturday it would rain. Monday through Sunday, sunshine. Friday and Saturday, boy, it was horrible. And I remember one day I was coming down Vermont and it was so flooded. I was in I had a Jag at the time, and there was a little plug in the bottom of the Jag that came out, a little rubber plug that came out. And I didn't know it was straight to the street. I look at my car, man, my car was sinking, dude. I had water coming in my ride. It was horrible, dude. I had to literally jump on the center divider and drive home, dude. That's no lie. Anyway, enough of the weather
report. That's funny, man.
I'm looking forward to a beautiful summer. Today I was able to wear a regular T-shirt, sun in my face, put my shades on. It was a great day today, Doc.
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Hey, there's a lot of talk about earthquakes, and I'm not trying to jinx, but hey, people talk, but we've had some pretty big earthquakes. The last one I really remember that shook me up was the Northridge quake. I think that was 94. Before that, we had the Whittier quake, which was 87. What do you remember about some of the earthquakes you've had in your life, Lonzo?
I remember one earthquake. It hit in the morning, and me and my girl was in the bed. We ran out the bed, looked like Adam and Eve, dude. It was ain't grabbed no drawers, no sheets, no nothing. Boy, ran outside like Adam and Eve, trying to find something, trying to see where it was coming from, man. Because they tell you to try and get somewhere clear. Only way clear in my house is in my backyard, so I can see if something's gonna fall. No telephone poles. So I mean, we back there like 15 minutes, man. Looked up, we were scared at first, and we started laughing. Like, damn, we forgot everything. Okay.
Well, hope everybody stays safe out there. Drink lots of water, and let's get this party going, man. Let's talk about something we haven't discussed in quite a long time, and I guess that is a good thing. We haven't talked about Chicago. It seemed like every other week back in the 2021, 22, even 23, we were talking about just the weekends in Chicago just being crazy. Well, unfortunately, it looks like the sun's come out, the ice is melted, and the niggas are acting up again. But Chicago had its deadliest weekend, 32 shot and 7 killed in Chicago, and it just so happened to be on Easter weekend, man. Like, come on, dog. It couldn't be like a random. It had to be on Easter weekend. But it looks like it's starting up again, man. What say you, Lonzo?
I'm finna sound a conspiracy theorist right now. My buddy was talking about that the other day, man. Chicago is in Illinois. It's a city in Illinois. Illinois is mostly farm town, next to a bunch of other non-melanated parts of the country. It just seems to me that's an awful lot of melanation deaths in a small area that's surrounded by so much non-melanated energy. I'm gonna put it like that. It just seems to me that's just really crazy, man. Because even in some cities like New York, it's illegal to have a gun, but you can drive down to Georgia in a couple of hours and buy guns. And it's the same thing in Chicago. You're right there near Indiana and all kind of other states where guns are very, they're very
plentiful.
plentiful. And it's like, damn. But then you got people who don't, you got individuals who don't care for you anyway with guns. So it just seems like, especially when all these things, a lot of these things go unsolved, man, it just really makes me feel kind of, as the kids say, some kind of way.
I'm starting to think that myself. If not, I feel like there's a lot of egging it on. Back in the day, Lonzo, I heard a lot of people, Crips and Bloods, talk about how the cops used to go to different neighborhoods, yell out a gang name, the rival gang, maybe shoot up in the air, shoot in the crowd or something like that, and then that they started gang wars.
Yeah. You had somebody get beat up, and all of a sudden they end up in the wrong territory, or they, something would happen. And I have a lot of friends who experienced things like that, where they got beat up by a certain group and was dropped into another group's area, and then the homeboys automatically figured that was who it was, and like, dude, that wasn't them, it was somebody else. And but by that time, it's already on and popping.
Yeah. Why do you think? Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
What do you think? What do you think the reason is behind it? If you and your boy were talking about it, what do you think? If you had to think, like, what a reason would be for there to be this puppet master that's doing it? Do you think it's to keep cops in work, to keep judges at work? Like, what do you think the reason would be to keep these beefs going to where people are dying?
I'm about to get us canceled. Dude, ain't no money. It's like so many things we have in this country. Ain't no money in the cure. It's only money in fighting the problem. Okay? If you stop it, ain't the money stop. Okay? We were talking about just the other day, man, about homeless and some of the diseases that people have claimed to be curable, but ain't no money in the cure. It's only money in the treatment. Huh?
Yeah. Tell us about your boy who used to own was it a funeral home?
Yeah.
Or in the Peace Treaty or something?
Buddy mine doing after the Rodney King, was at 92? After the Rodney King ride, my daddy had a friend who actually owned a mortuary in Linwood. And homeboy came by the old man's pad. They always kicked it even before the situation. And my man, how things going? Man, these niggas are driving me broke. This damn Peace Treaty shit. I can't make no money. These niggas ain't killing each other like they supposed to. Oh, I'm listening to this, man. I'm a grown man. I hear this. I'm like,
and this is a brother.
Brother, I didn't think about the money behind the gangbang. And if I'm not mistaken, a lot of our mortuaries that we think that were founded by Black folks are not owned by Black folks anymore. They still have the name, but they're owned by different corporations. So there's a lot of money in this death game. Okay, a lot of money. Yeah. And we don't, only cemeteries that we own are ones in Compton. And I know we own one in Compton for sure. I don't know who owns the other one, but they're not taking it.
That's the one on Bullis and Rosecrans?
That's one on Bullis and Rosecrans, but there's also one on Greenleaf and Central. Two of them on Greenleaf and Central. One is in Compton, one is technically in Carson. And they haven't taken any new bodies in, any new bodies in quite some time, but still, the mortuary, there's a couple of mortuaries in Compton, that's their business, is to put people away. And, gang wars feed that business, dude. I tell you something else. When I had the club, I wouldn't book certain repasses. I booked a lot of repasses are good business. They're in the afternoon. Usually they take about 3 or 4 hours. Your biggest thing is somebody got to be there to, let them in over a period of time, but nobody brings all the food. Nobody brings all the stuff at one time. Auntie so-and-so bring the chicken, somebody else bring the potato salad, but I just had to learn the hard way. I couldn't book every repass. I'd ask him, hey man, how'd the person die? Oh, he died from natural causes. Okay, cool. Oh, he got shot over in so-and-so. Now, I'm booked that day. I can't take that chance because, a lot of repasses turn into future funerals.
I was just about to say that.
Okay, so and this is something you have to be aware of. I was telling a friend of mine the same thing. She has an event space. She does repasses, and we both agreed that they're a good business because usually it's a lot of older people and everybody's kind of calm. You might get a little music, but repasses. So some of these repasses turn into parties. And that's the part I can't understand. I'm like, hold on there, dude. Oh, OG Steve, what's up with you, baby? Much love to you. I've seen repasses turn into full-blown parties, man. Usually the bar is not open. Okay? But when they realized there was liquor in the house, next thing I know, I had to call a bartender, and everybody was doing electric slide in the name of the dead homie. I ain't lying. Everybody electric slide, the name of the dead homie.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. Well, I pray for the streets, man. Had to rock my Hood P shirt today. You can buy these from Lonzo. If you want to email him, he can get one out to you ASAP, as well as a lot of other stuff. What do you got?
I got a new landing page also, LonzoWilliams.com, for all my books and everything else. LonzoWilliams.com, folks. Yes, sir. Easy Street, the official. That ain't no cardboard sign right there. That's a real street sign, reflective street sign, specifically designed for people to purchase for Easy Street.
Yes. Great price of $100. It's well worth it. Hang it up in your studio, hang it up in your man cave, whatever the case is. Let's keep it pushing, Lonzo. We're going to pray for Chicago and hope that it doesn't get worse this summer. I wanted to play something for you. Every time I listen to certain podcasts and something pops up, I automatically think of you and how it can relate to our show. I was watching Vlad TV, and Reggie Wright Jr. and Mob James, they have a show together where they talk about important issues and things like that. Not too different than what we do here on Not Without Alonzo. But something specifically stood out, and it's about a 15-second clip. Sometimes that's all it is, and then they move on to something else. But that 15 seconds made me think, I wonder what Lonzo would have to say about this. But Reggie Wright Jr. here and Mob James are talking about malt liquor. So it's a 15-second clip. Just pay attention, everyone, and then I want your reaction to this.
I see cats drinking 8-ball. Oh, English used to fuck me up in the 80s. I know they fucked up.
Bottle Sherm.
Yeah.
Bottle Sherm.
And it's made different.
You ever notice you can't buy those in the white area? You can only buy that.
With Old English?
OE.
Yeah, because they done had it in there before. They took it off the shelf.
God, you can't even buy
I used to drink Old English
45
at 8, 9 o'clock in the morning on the way to Centennial or Dominguez. And by the time I'm buzzing, I ain't thinking about a pencil and paper. I'm thinking about fighting, gang banging.
That stood out to me so much, Lonzo. What's your response to that?
Dude, there was a brother by the name of Coach Powell. He came to the hood one day. In fact, he was actually at WLCAC. He has a book called The Message in the Bottle. He talks about malt liquor, okay? I went to that presentation. And the reason why malt liquor is so potent and so cheap is because it's literally the bottom of the barrel. It's literally the bottom of the barrel, okay? And what happens is when you make beer, you make it from hops, okay? And some of that stuff, I guess, after it's fermented, it goes to the bottom of the barrel and it sits there. And this is the stuff they used to throw away, but they charcoal filtered it, put it into a bottle, and sell it real cheap. And because it's so potent, because everything is concentrated. Everything is concentrated. And depending on the person's personality and their weight and makeup, it gives you an effect, man, it's just ridiculous, dude. And he did a survey, and a large percentage of the men that were in prison and in jail at that time of the survey were either high, well, most of them were high on malt liquor, Colt 45, 8-ball. Those were the ones. I mean, this shit right here, you can buy a quart like $1, $1.99 or some shit like that. It was just liquid poison, dude. And like he said, you could not find that shit anywhere. West of Crenshaw, you ain't gonna find it nowhere in Torrance. You ain't gonna find it in nowhere in you ain't gonna find it in Gardena. In some parts of Gardena, they didn't sell it. They didn't sell it in grocery stores. They only sold it in liquor stores. And that shit right there, it was definitely a poison that was put into the community. Talking about some they clone Tyrone shit. Yeah, that's some they clone Tyrone shit. Thank you. The fermentation. Thank you. fermentation from all the top of the beers, the slits, and the other stuff. Everything comes in layers. Certain layers taste better. Certain layers are more potent. And by the time you get to the bottom, the taste is kind of bitter. And like I said, they charcoal filter that shit and take some of the bitterness out of it, add a little something to it. So it's not as hard to deal with, but it has a lot more potency to it, and it's cheap. And like I said before, up until the 80s, they was throwing that shit away. That's real talk.
Yeah, that's crazy. And they were marketed. I remember as a kid seeing commercials, and it was marketed specifically towards our people. Who's that black dude that all the women loved? Coke 45. Billy D. Williams, man.
Billy D.
That dude probably sold more Coke 45s than anybody.
Yeah. If you want to get with your woman, do the right thing. Get her a bottle of Coke 45. Yeah. Billy D. What's it? What they call him? Lando Calrissian from Star Wars. Okay, and here's something else. Vista Light, 1972 just brought up a point. There was such a big rush on Coke 45 and 8 Ball till St. Ives hired all the rappers, every rapper. In fact, if I ain't mistaken, what's the name? DJ Pooh had the hookup, got everybody a St. Ives commercial. Okay. Everybody had a St. Ives commercial. Cube had one, 8 had one, King T had one. Yes, he was the man that brought everybody, had to hook up with St. Ives and brought that shit, gave everybody a check to make them commercials. And that was the shit. Even Biggie, that's right. That was the shit. St. Ives did their best to try and take some of that market share from 8 Ball.
Facts. And that stuff is the worst beer I've ever tasted in my life. I've tasted it before, and even when someone burps, like when you're around them, you can smell it a mile away. It's the worst beer. I don't know how anybody could drink that, but oh man.
I tell you what, it was cheap. That's why. It was a cheap high. Like homeboy said, it was liquid PCP. PCP got more cats killed than any other drug back in the day. Ooh. PCP was the drug of murderers. Because you're not in your right mind. You might shoot somebody and take off running down the street butt ass naked. That's no bullshit. Okay? PCP was a horrible drug. It wasn't like crack. Crack, you didn't do the same thing. Crack, you gonna get high and you gonna steal some shit, get high again, but you probably wouldn't go smoke no crack to go kill somebody. You either drank some 8 Ball or smoked some PCP. And that took you out of your mind long enough to go out and commit your crime. And you sober up, your ass is in lockup. And Cisco was horrible shit too.
That shit tastes like cough medicine, cough syrup, all of the above. Cisco was crazy.
I called it Kool-Aid flavored battery acid.
Woo. Man. Yeah, and that's what you would see. The people standing outside of the liquor stores, they weren't drinking the good shit. They were drinking the Ciscos, the Night Trains, the Mad Dog 2020s, the cheap shit.
Yeah, because you don't need but a couple of bucks. I mean, for $1, you can buy you a short dog. Okay, $1. They just picked our pockets, kept it real simple, low budget, and they destroyed us from the bottom up.
Lonzo, I have a theory similar to this, and I had this theory back in the day when I used to smoke blunts. Not a blunt guy anymore. I stopped smoking blunts, due to I'm getting older. I can't be smoking all that tobacco and all that bull stuff. But just the Philly Blunt, Swisher, I'm just naming off names, Backwood. These are all owned by big tobacco corporations. They're not owned by brothers. Like the brothers don't. I sat back and thought one day, how much money have we contributed as a people to the Swisher brand, to the Philly brand, to the Backwood brand? Anybody who doesn't know what Backwoods is, those are those tobacco leaves that you put like a 3.5 grams of weed in. It's crazy. But what do you think about that, Lonzo?
Every group has tapped into our economics. They find exactly what they like, what we like, and they find a way to give it to us. And they'll do a sense of I mentioned to you before. meritorious malumation, the meritorious malumation, that word I was telling you about. And what happens is 1 or 2 people will get rich doing it, and everybody else thinks it's a path to success. Meanwhile, it's only a path to death or destruction. So it's the same it's the same basic concept as meritorious malumation. Okay, and because we're very emotional people, and in some cases we're not that. In some cases, not all, we're not that entrepreneurial. We'll if we see something, if we see another person doing something, everybody does it. But if we see somebody else doing it, very few people want to copy it. What I mean by that is, if you see something that Black folks tend to do that's successful, everybody wants to do it. I remember when I was making bootleg records. We blew up on the bootleg record for about a year. Oh, we was killing it. And after everybody saw us making money, all of a sudden the whole market got flooded. And I just, I'm one of them cats. If I don't have a toehold on the market share, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in doing what everybody else does. I'm not going to fight for something I already did, especially when I know I can do other things. And same thing with dances. When people saw us being successful with dances, everybody and his mama started giving dances. But nobody ever thought about fixing speakers. Nobody ever thought about fixing turntables, fixing all that DJ. That I can't think of not one Black-owned DJ service. Everybody want to be a DJ, but nobody can fix that shit. Okay, that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Perfect example. We got tons of DJs, but not one Black DJ system repair shop, speaker repair, controller repair. Nobody. And it's not that difficult. You have to understand. You have to know the manuals and just set up shop. Because trust me, business is coming. But in order to fix speakers, you got to go to Orange County Speaker Repair, or my boy on Sunset, or you got to take it back to Guitar Center, and they'll send them out. It takes you about 2 or 3 months to get a speaker fixed. When I would think at this point in time, we'd have a couple of Black shops that had the schematics to fix different shit by now. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of us, for some reason, we stay on the surface a lot. We stay on the surface, okay? We don't go deep into the industry. We're the front. We do a lot of front work. Actually, we do a lot of DJs, a lot of MCs. But who fix microphones? Who does? Where's the Black company that fix microphones? Where's the Black company that sells that shit? Everybody I go to buy some DJ equipment from, it don't look like us. I'm just saying.
Yeah, breaking it down. Yeah. Hey, this is a random question, but it will lead into a conversation. Did you ever smoke cigarettes?
Man, one day I smoked cigarettes. One day.
Okay.
I was in the 9th grade, and I caught my girlfriend messing around with another dude. That pissed me off, hurt my feelings, broke my heart, all them good words. And my buddy said, man, smoke a cigarette and you'll feel better. And I smoked a cigarette. I smoked 2. Man, I got so damn dizzy. That was like they broke me up right then and there. Never smoked again. Never smoked again.
I was never a fan. So it's safe to say that that scene in the Michelet movie with you smoking cigarettes was some
Man,
BS.
that's the biggest lie ever told. Every movie you've ever seen me in, they lied on me so much it was ridiculous. Straight Outta Compton, every time you seen us as a group, we all had alcohol. We never drank back then. Never. N-E-V-E-R, capital, never, nobody. To see Yellow with a drink in his hand, I don't think Yellow drank. I went to Yellow's renewal of his vows. I think he might have had a sparkling water, sparkling apple cider or something. Never. To see me in Michelet story, they got me outside pacing, smoking a cigarette, and I'm waiting for my female singer to catch the bus from 39th in Normandy to Torrance. And what kind of dude would I be? Yeah, okay. Nah, never happened.
Yeah. So that cigarette question was going to lead into this, because this is something I don't know about. But I do know that a large percentage of Black smokers, at least back in the day when smoking was popular, we smoked menthol cigarettes. Did they have commercials and things like that advertising menthol specifically?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, talk to me, because I don't know about that.
Man, back in the day, they advertised everything. Menthol, Camels, Cools. Everybody had a Salem. Everybody, Virginia Slims. Everybody had a commercial. And when they finally realized that cigarettes was detrimental to your health, and to promote this was not to the best interest of the people, and it was best not to promote it. Up until then, you could drink, you could alcohol, everything, beer, wine, everything. Cigarettes was a big deal, and even the concerts was sponsored by Cool Filter Kings. Okay, Cool Jazz Festival. That's where it comes from. The Cool Jazz Festival, not because it was in San Diego, it was sponsored by Cool Cigarettes. Most of the events, a lot of the events that was from back in the day, man, was all sponsored by either alcohol or cigarette companies. They spent a lot of money marketing to black folks back in the day. Cool does not spell with a C, it's spelled with a K.
You know, they used to there you go. I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, and even going further back to when you were a kid, when they were marketing on cartoons, dog. They were doing cigarette commercials at the end of cartoons. Here's this Fred Flintstone one. Let me play this Flintstone real quick because I knew about this one. Hold on. It's a Flintstone commercial from the 60s, I believe. Cigarette commercial. All right, here we go.
They sure work hard, don't they, Barney? Yeah? I hate to see them work so hard. Yeah, me too. Let's go around back where we can't see them.
So it's Fred and Barney.
Do something, Fred.
And they're chilling in the back.
How's about taking a nap? I got a better idea. Let's take a Winston break.
Barney pulls out a fat thing of cigarettes.
The one filter cigarette that delivers flavor 20 times a pack. Winston's got that filter blend. Yeah, Fred.
Now dig this right here.
You would watch your Saturday cartoons, and then in the middle of the cartoon, Fred and Barney would be sparking up a cigarette.
Look, first of all, let me say something. Fred and Barney and the Flintstones and the Jetsons were not Saturday afternoon cartoons.
Oh, okay.
They were prime time cartoons on Friday night, 8:30.
Oh, didn't know that.
They were not Fred and Barney and Wilma and Fred and George and Betty and everybody and whoever else it was not Saturday afternoon cartoons. Okay, they were Friday night grown folk cartoons. Flintstones was an experiment to see if grown folks would watch cartoons, and it worked. Jetsons, same thing. Jetsons had a lot of adult, not so much adult themes, but adult issues. Like when homeboy took the car and she snatched his wallet. Okay, the dog, the sassy ass robot maid. All that right there was geared towards adults. It was like a relaxation thing for Saturday night, for a Friday evening. Okay, I could damn near tell you the lineup. we had to watch a show called Tammy and Flipper. They all came on Friday night. Okay, Tammy, Flipper, Flintstones, and the Jetsons. All right, that's no bullshit.
Damn,
that's no
dude.
bullshit. Okay,
Flipper. Okay. Yeah, man. Back when you only had like 5 channels, and you if you wanted to watch something, you had to watch it then, or you may have never seen it again.
Man, if you took a nap and stayed up all night, you had to watch that damn little X sound, whatever it was, dude, and you had to hear the national anthem.
The national anthem.
Dude, I hated when I was sick because it wasn't nothing to watch past midnight but Cal Worthington commercials, dude. And every once in a while, he may have a decent something on. Most of the time, he was playing old ass movies, Abbott and Costello and Frankenstein and shit like that, dude. It was not the business, all right?
Yeah, you kids don't know that there was a time where TV stopped.
TV
no
stopped.
24, like at, I don't know, 2 a.m. or something like that, they would play the national anthem, and then shit went dark for the next 4 or 5 hours.
This concludes this broadcast day. At this time, we'll play the national anthem. We will see you tomorrow. The program will resume at 6 a.m. Dun, dun, dun. And that was it. Now, what you could do though, is go to UHF. It was UHF and VHF. Okay.
UHF, yeah, that was anything above 13, basically, right?
Right. Now you might find something in another language on on VHF, I think it was.
Some Benny Hill or some shit like that.
Yeah, you might find something like that. Other than that, man, you stuck. Give me some NyQuil or something. Take my ass go to bed.
Yeah, man, that's crazy. Hey, we're about halfway through the show, so I want to take this time to remind everybody to please hit that like button if you have not already. If this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please do hit that subscribe button. You are tuned in to N.W.A. Stories with Lonzo, where we drop the realness about West Coast hip hop. None of that Hollywood stuff, none of that made up stuff. You're going to get the real story here. So if you want the real story of West Coast hip hop, you got to come and join our channel. Thank you to the 15,000 subscribers. Thank you to the chat fam. I love my chat fam. I love our chat fam, Lonzo.
Baby.
Man, real talk. They're so dedicated and dope, and they're true supporters, man. I don't call you guys fans. You guys are supporters. More importantly, you guys are like family. So thank you, each and every one of you out there. And lastly, make sure you check out Lonzo's documentary, Eve After Dark, on Tubi and Prime as well. Right, Lonz?
Tubi, Prime, and the Compton Entertainment channel. That's my channel. Watch it on my channel, folks. I need to
actually break that. Tell them again. I think we should push that. If true supporters, listen to this right here.
I have my own television channel, folks. It's called the Compton Entertainment Channel. It's on Roku, Fire Stick, Amazon, all the platforms. You can watch it on your phone. You can watch it on your TV. Go to Independent Movies, and you'll see our version, that's right, of Eve After Dark on our own channel, complete with commercials and the whole 9 yards, folks. We're doing it like that. All right? Much love. I appreciate you.
Much love, much love. Let's keep it pushing, Lonzo. Let's talk some hip hop, some West Coast hip hop, a group that was one of the first groups that I, made me fall in love with this genre, with this lifestyle. But Rodney O and Joe Cooley, when I was coming up, they were everything. The beats and just, I didn't know much about the behind the scenes or anything like that. I just knew I love their music. Well, they are celebrating sort of a resurgence, a rebirth, if you will, with their song Everlasting Bass. I'm sure you know the song. It's a classic West Coast jam. Everlasting Bass. Do-do-do-do-do-do. That beat is nuts. But Future, the rapper Future, and Compton's own Kendrick Lamar did a song to the remake of the beat. It's called Like That. I played it 50 times myself in the past week and a half, but Rodney O and Joe Cooley, forgive me if I don't know which one, please clear it up after this story, but the record went gold in a week. The Future and Kendrick record went gold. It went viral because that led to Kendrick dissing J. Cole, and then J. Cole came and dissed Kendrick. So and Rodney O and Joe Cooley, I follow both of them on Facebook, and they appreciate the resurgence of it, and I'm sure it's bringing them some money. Hopefully it is. It sounds like it is. But talk to me, Lonzo, about how something like that can change your life, and how talk to us about the come up of Rodney O and Joe Cooley.
Well, first of all, once again, Rodney O and Joe Cooley is another limb in Lonzo's tree. How is that, you might ask? Well, in 1988, Lonzo, Egyptian lover, Rudy from the LA Dream Team, an unknown DJ, formed a company called West Coast Record Distributors. We all had left McCullough and started our own independent record distribution company. Again, I got to say this over and over again because I don't want nobody to take my credit, because I'm tired of niggas trying to take my shit. It was Lonzo's idea. Lonzo was the last one to leave McCullough. He was the only one that had distribution experience throughout the country. I was selling my own records after I left McCullough, and I was selling records before I got to McCullough. Me and Adrian Gregory, Tupac's former manager, drove down to Palm Springs at a record convention and met with all the record distributors, and they said they would buy from us. Then we went back to Rainbow and Santa Monica. Steve Shelton said he would press our records. We formed West Coast Record Distributors on 54th and Western, right there at the old Good Fred barbershop building, where Good Fred distributed his own hair care products back in the 70s. Good Fred was a big supporter of ours. And Rodney O was the only act that Egypt signed to his label. I'm sorry, he was one of the acts he signed to his label. He signed Little E as well. Rodney O and Joe Cooley was one of the first acts signed by Egyptian Empire, distributed by West Coast Record Distributors. And it was a big record back then. It blew up back then. So yes, once again, the tentacles of Lonzo, I hate to say it's all about me. I just had my hand in a lot of shit. I still do. That's how I roll. Again, like I was telling Rodney, you don't even know how I played the part of your success. Right up until then, there was no place for them to go. There was no place for them to go. And when Egypt, we formed that company, we dropped that song. We made a shitload of money on that damn song, that damn album. They dropped Everlasting Bass and something else. And that's when General Jeff was still with them. And that was how it happened. And again, now, fast forward to 2024, when somebody grabs your record, it was a lot more money back in the day. It was a lot more money. Going platinum, going gold today is definitely going to have an impact on their lives. Trust me, it's going to be some money made, but it might not be the same kind of money that was made in the 80s and 90s. When Master P snatched Turn Off the Lights and made Mr. Ice Cream Man, my life changed for a good 2 years. I'm getting fat ones every quarter. Fat ones. Okay? And eventually, like everything else, they taper off. I don't know how. I know it's going to be some money. Trust me, I know it's going to be some money. I don't know if it's going to have the same big impact because now that the streams don't pay nowhere near what Celestial Radio pays. They don't pay the same kind of money. I don't know who the distributor is for this product. I know they probably basing it off of streams, which means I don't know. I'd have to look at the streaming charts to find out what's the most popular streaming channel. But I do know that based on what Shannon Sharp did with him and Cat Williams, that was fat. Both of them got, well, I don't know about both of them. I know Shannon, he got a fat one coming from YouTube and wherever else he put all those interviews at. I don't know if it's going to be that big, but it's yet to be seen.
Now, break it down for people who don't understand, because even in 2024, I'm not too into the music biz like I used to be. But when someone takes your beat, and says, "Hey, I want to use it for my project," as did Kendrick Lamar and Future, do they have options to, let's say, here's $200,000 and you never get anything again, just $200,000 flat fee, or you get paid off streams and blah, 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 the back end and things like that. Do you think they just go by streams, or do you think they still have the option, or have they ever had the option to say, you know what, I'll just give you 150 grand, we'll call it a day, I use your beat, we good? How does it work?
Usually when they do it, they offer you, hey man, here's the advance. I want to buy a piece of this publishing for this particular project. Okay. Here's the advance, 50,000, 100,000, whatever the case may be. And it all depends on if they believe in the song or not. Some of them say, I'm just doing something just to say I did it. And again, it's totally different because there's no tangible instruments these days. There's no way of knowing how many records are sold. All you know is how many streams. There's probably no physical record to be made. No physical record to be made. And that's one thing about records. One thing about the record business I did not like is that it's not any no way to track how many records you actually sell. There's no serial numbers on records. All records look alike. There's no difference from the first one to the 50,000th one. There's no difference. There's not a running number to show you how many records you made. So that's for everything else has a serial number to it. Records don't. So you can track your digital sales a lot better because they have to keep track of it. But again, because the Senate allowed them to give us such a shitty deal, I'm looking at my man. What he says is says 6 cents per download. So you got to make 17 downloads to get you $1. Then that dollar gets split up between the artist and the publisher and everybody. So even when I do record deal, I do licensing deals, I get more money for licensing now because I don't make the money I used to make on download because everything is technically streaming. Okay, when I would do deals back in the day, they were playing on channel 7, channel 2, or 11, something like that. Well, my checks would be fat as shit because it's a different deal structure for Celestial Radio, Celestial Television. When you have a situation that everything is streaming now, everything. It was played on Channel 11, Channel 2, AMC, or whatever. It's all considered streaming. So the revenue is more for television, but it's not as good as it used to be. So you got 17 downloads equals $1.06. As if they downloaded. If they just streaming it, you still got to have so many plays to qualify. And you know what is goal these days? 50,000 streams? I don't know.
Nah,
I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's way more. It's like a lot. You have to get a lot to go. Quote, go.
500,000 streams.
Yeah,
half a million records was gold. 500,000 records was gold.
Yeah, 500,000 streams. That ain't Ash, unfortunately. Yeah.
Okay, so 500,000 streams. You know, who was his name? Robin Thicke, when he did that deal, as many streams he had on this song that Marvin Gaye's family sued for, he only made a few $1,000s on that shit. So I mean, it's a good little plug, but you know, hopefully it'll end up on a commercial or something. Now that everything changes. If it's on a commercial, everything changes. Everything changes. One commercial will change your life. It'll change your address, change your tax bracket, change everything about you. What you know, everything you know today will change for a record. I mean, for a commercial, more so than it would for even for a movie. I had a record in Snowfall. Did okay. I ain't going nowhere. It don't pay the same.
Yeah. Talk to everybody about the importance of ownership, Lonzo, because 40 years later, you know, Rodney-O and Joe Cooley are making money, hopefully, off of this song, and you know, someone using their beat. 40 years later, either you could get paid, either your family could get paid if you're not here, or some white family in Calabasas can get paid off of your work.
I wonder if they're really getting paid, because I know that was back then. I think Egypt owned a lot of that stuff too. That was on the Egyptian Empire. I don't know if they had the publishing rights. I don't know if they had the master rights. I own all my shit. Okay, but I was never on a label other than Sony, and even then I own the publishing. I'm not sure. I don't know what their business arrangement is. Okay, and it sounds good, looks good, but what's the actual behind the scene business arrangement? I'm not sure. I'm not aware of. Because Egypt could own the publishing. I think it might be on Egyptian. You know, it might be on the Egyptian Empire publishing, which changes a whole lot of shit. They'll still get paid. We all know. Yeah.
Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
No, they'll still get paid, but you know, you got more hands in the pot.
That's right. Yeah, we all know Egypt needs more money because he hasn't made enough off that Egypt song. I hear that shit everywhere. I mean, everywhere, dog. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, just got paid.
Yeah. I'm hearing Turn Off the Lights more than ever before. Right these days also, man. It's just amazing. This stuff was made 30 years ago. And that's why I say, man, you make something that's a part of a person's life. And that's what music does. It's the soundtrack of someone's life or a time in their life. And when they hear that record, their mind automatically goes back to that time, whether it makes them feel good. There's some records make me sad right to this day for no reason. You know, it's just because of the time that I was dealing with certain things. That record ignites those memories, and it makes you feel sad, and it has the opposite effect. Sometimes I hear the record, I just say, oh shit! I remember I was knocking down home, girl. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh my God! Every time I hear Michael Henderson, I am taken back to my girlfriend back in the day. That was her shit, Michael Henderson. Okay, and I go, oh yeah. It's good memories to Michael Henderson. Died.
Jodeci takes me there. Jodeci was playing in the background the first time I ever got my first piece of Poontang. Okay. And every time Fiendin' comes on by Jodeci, man, I shed a little tear. Hey. It was over in 30 seconds, but you know, it is. Hey. Homeboy ain't even got to the first verse and I was already busting.
Tears lasted longer than the experience, huh?
Hey, let's move on, Lonzo. I was listening to another podcast, and they were talking about Eazy-E specifically and how Eazy had a lyric in one of his songs. And once again, it was just a 5-second thing that caught my ear. But he said, when Eazy-E said, Ice Cube writes the rhymes that I say. I'm sure you're familiar with the lyric. You know, MCs, rappers have always had this thing with other people writing their lyrics. You know, you're not, and there's this thing in the hip hop community, you're not a real MC if you don't write your lyrics. You know, Drake is known to have writers and things like that. So people say he can't be a GOAT if someone else writes for him. What do you think about all of that, you know, in general, and even how people used to trip on other people writing, and you're not a real MC if you let somebody write? But Eazy-E came out and was like, shit, Ice Cube writes my rhymes. I don't give a damn what anybody thinks.
That's nigga verse bullshit. Okay. Bottom line is, you got to get the best that works for you. Doc. Sometimes you can't take it out yourself. Everybody don't understand your lane. Understand your lane. If Eddie Murphy had to write every movie, he probably wouldn't be the star he is. If Luther Vandross had to write all his songs, nobody does. I mean, people do it, but most people don't. Whether you are hip hop, R&B, country, and Western. The biggest song that Whitney Houston ever did was written by Dolly Parton. The biggest song she ever did, I Will Always Love You, was a country and Western song that she grabbed and put her own twist to it. You think Dolly mad? You think Whitney mad? Ain't nobody mad. Only person gonna get mad is niggas. Niggas the only one do that shit. Oh man, you have to be a true writer. No, you don't. No, you don't. That's some bullshit. Some people are better writers than they are spitters. Some people can spit and can't write. Some people don't write at all. Some people don't spit. It just, man, that's one thing about it. We always find some way to make ourselves to belittle the next man. Oh, he don't write. He ain't. Yeah. Well, shit, man. You do some of that shit. Okay? You try that shit. Sometimes somebody else will hear something that you don't hear, dude. And that's what they call collaboration. Collaboration. You know, you can't do everything by yourself. I tried. It don't work. I have to collaborate with other people, man, to make things happen. I own a newspaper, too. Did you know that? I can't make newspapers, but my partner can. Okay, and that's been the key to my success all my life. I have never been too proud to collaborate. Let a man do what he does. Let me do what I do, and together we're gonna make this success. We're gonna drive this car to the road to success, down the road to success. Bottom line. Do what you do, Dusty. We would not be as successful on this podcast if it wasn't for our collaboration.
Exactly.
I don't do what you do. I talk good shit. I got a great memory, and I got a lot of experience. I don't have time to cut these videos up into 10-minute videos. I don't have time for that. That's what you do. And you help this show, you make this show grow by interviewing me, let me flow, let me do what I do. Then you take what you do, I give you access to this channel so that you can do what you do. Does that make me less of a YouTuber? No. No, I'm a personality. I'm an old school personality with a great history, a vast amount of knowledge, and I have a young guy that understands his game better than I do. So I let him do what he do. He let me do what I do, and together we work together. Anything else is bullshit.
Out of all that, the best thing you could have said is me being a young guy. I haven't been called a young guy in so long. Thank you, Lonzo.
Hey, bro, I'm gonna be your daddy, okay?
You are, yeah, literally.
I got kids older than you, Dusty.
Facts. Yeah, I love doing this, man. I love doing this. Let's keep it pushing, man. Actually, before we do that, I want to ask you, who were some of the other writers in World Class Wreckin Cru? I know you wrote a lot of the stuff, if not the majority of it, but were there any others that in the group?
Yeah. Clientele, me. Dre didn't write any lyrics at all. He never wrote lyrics. Me and Clientele wrote most of the shit. Yella didn't do a lot of writing. Yella did a lot of beats. He didn't do a lot of writing.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was the writing process like back then? You know, even if you guys would collab, like you guys sit down with pen and paper, put a beat in the background, or do you have the lyrics already and you do the beat later?
It all depends on the song, man. It all depends on how you feeling. You know, we wrote a song called we heard What People Do for Money back in the day, and we wanted to do a song about gangbanging, and that was our motivation. And we had a beat similar to that, and the hook was gang bang, you're dead, you're lying in the streets, gang bang, you're dead and you're 15 years old and a cold piece of meat, gang bang, tell them what you're gonna do, gang bang, when the corner puts the tag on you. That was the hook, okay? Same cadence as What People Do for Money, and we just wrote the hook, wrote the line, wrote the different parts, around those hook, on that hook. To turn off the lights was all me by myself. All right. Surgery, that was collaboration. Juice, another collaboration. So, it all depends on sometimes, dude, I write songs right now. I still write songs. I ain't recorded nothing. I still write them. I'll get an idea for a song, and I'll either sing it into my phone, or I'll type it out, or I have one of my voice to text programs just record the lyrics so I can at least have them someplace. Because sometimes when you wake up, that shit is gone. It's gone.
That was a pretty inspirational song. Hold on, I gotta play this. It's called Gang Bang. Once again, a 7-minute song.
Then there's 4 minutes of intro shit.
Goddamn. Let me skip ahead. Hold on.
Man, that ain't cool at all. Listen to the story as we rap to the beat, as we educate you about life in the street. Cause gang banging, don't play, back for the head. You do it too long, you'll end up dead.
That was a pretty This is a gangster rap song. I mean, not with the message, obviously. But I was talking some real shit. What year did this come out?
About 84.
Before, hold on, break it down. Before 6 in the morning. I know my timelines. Before F the Police.
Yeah.
Dog, talk to me about that. Dude,
we were on some anti-gangbanging shit. All of us were. None of us were gangbangers. I don't know how I can tell nobody anymore. We were not. Nobody was gangbanging. Nobody from the crew was gangbanging. We was all anti-gangbanging. Everybody, all 4 of us was all anti-gangbangers. We didn't do that shit. We didn't support that shit. It wasn't until later on that shit became the national anthem, national pastime. Niggas killing each other became a national pastime. We was talking against that shit all the time. That's why I could not change. I can't do this in 1984 and start talking about how to kill niggas in 85 or 86, whatever it was, 92. How the fuck am I gonna do that? How do I do that? I'm more true to myself than that, dude. And that's, some people can't, some people don't have the same loyalty today. I'm loyal to me first and foremost. My first loyalty is to me. I got to stay true to myself. And I tell anybody else, if you're a real dude, you'll do the same. Whoever you are, don't let nobody talk you out of being who you are. Now, you may modify and enhance who you are, but you're going to change. It may improve, but you don't change. 2 different things. You may evolve, but you don't change.
And going back to this gangbang song, Lonzo, I know my timelines once again when it comes to hip hop, and even to be talking about gangbanging in 1984 on a rap song was not something that I can't really think of anyone who was doing it. And I'm not even BSing. I'm literally not thinking. I can't think of one person who was mentioning gangbanging in 1984.
Gangbanging, it had been around for a minute, but it was just niggas starting to fall a lot harder in 84, 85. We were starting to, nigga, what? Who? Damn. That kind of shit was happening around us. And it was just starting to hit this cool phase. Brothers was just starting to think it was cool to claim different sets and to do different shit and get caught up. And, a lot of gangbangers then was young. They was just starting to get their feet wet, and they was following in the footsteps of some of the guys from the 70s trying to live up to their reputations. And again, that was never my wheelhouse. So I never embraced it.
84 was an interesting year. I remember 84. I was 6 years old, and I just remember everything about 84 because the Olympics were in LA.
Yep.
It was a big deal. I remember everywhere you went, it was about the Olympics. McDonald's had all this stuff, these contests, and so I remember it like it was yesterday, literally being 6 years old. Something that I didn't understand until I was older is that there was an underlying gang problem. Obviously, I saw the gangs in the street in East Long Beach, and I knew Crips. I saw Crips everywhere, but I didn't understand it at that time. Now, as an adult, obviously, I do. But I understand that they were trying to hide this gang problem because, the world is looking at LA. The world is coming to LA. Some of the most prestigious people are coming to Los Angeles. And here we have this gang war that hundreds, if not thousands of people are dying a year from. There's this thing called crack cocaine. And there were even docu-series and things like that on the late night news. One expose that broke it. You know, they're like, hey, LA's talking about the Olympics, but, you know, there's this underlying gang problem. Can you talk a little bit more about that and go into what you remember about that in 84?
Gangbanging, when gangbanging hit 84, it was probably one of the worst epidemics next to crack in the whole community. Gangbanging has never served the purpose for anybody. It's never been good for anybody. Only for those who on the other side that pick up the pieces and lock people up. It was always a cancer in the community. People said it was based on economics. Some people it's based on territory. Some people say it was based on color. It seemed like it was just something that just came into the community and made life unnecessarily hellish. And and nobody understood it in the beginning, man. People still don't understand it right to this day. People still don't understand it. I don't really understand it right to this day. I'm a grown ass man. I still don't understand the process. Why I have to look over my shoulder because somebody look like me don't like what color shirt I got on. Come on, man. So, and it's been bad for business forever. That's why you won't have shit in the hood now. It's the worst thing worst thing that ever happened to business in our community. A lot of black folks left the community during the 80s because of gangbanging and crack. Those two things ran a lot of black businesses out of the. It was almost like watching the movies where somebody wants to take over the waterfront and they have all the businesses burnt down so they can buy all the businesses in the waterfront so they can put a football stadium. That Aaliyah movie. Same process, man. Gangbanging put such a negative tone into the community, and so did crack, till all the black businesses after the 70s, most of your businesses in the hood was owned by black folks. Your cleaners, your liquor stores, your laundromats, even grocery stores was owned by black folks. But when folks came in with this gangbanging, and for some reason, they focused on us more than anybody. They focused on their own people, and folks were like, man, my daddy got killed, my mama got killed, I'm selling this liquor store, I'm getting out of here. Who wants to buy it? Oh, Mr. Wong, you want to buy it? Come on, take it. I don't care. Whatever it is, come on, you got the money? They had the money. So that's why you look around nowadays, and so much of the business in the black community is not owned by us. I'm gonna stop right there before I start sounding racist. No, I'm not racist. I'm just obvious. And sometimes you can't help but say what it's just obvious, man. It's not racist, it's obvious. It's just obvious. When you look up and you see donut shops, liquor stores, like I said earlier, everything that we like, other people benefit from. We like fancy nails, ain't but a handful of black nail shops, if you can find one. They ain't gonna find a whole lot of black nail shops. But we do black hair. You can't see they can't do the hair. You ain't found the hair gotta stay with us. It's one thing to have a skill, another thing to have a talent, and that's the difference. You can perfect a skill just by practice. A talent you have to be born with. You have to naturally have it. Okay, and that's what separates some of the businesses from that we own and that we perfect, like barbershops and beauty shops. We got a ton of those, but you don't see us in nail shops. Hey, I got to say before we go, man.
Yeah.
J. Cole apologized to Kendrick Lamar.
He did.
Recently, and people are trying to clown this brother for not wanting to be in a beef. Man, fuck y'all. Y'all full of shit.
Thank you.
Fuck y'all.
This ain't no fucking drill rap bullshit.
Fuck y'all,
Knock off that bullshit.
Fuck y'all.
This is hip hop.
This is bullshit. Oh man, he's weak. He ain't man. Come on, man. People are tired of that shit. This brother was man enough to realize, hey man, I made a mistake. I apologize. Blah 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 blah. And people are actually condemning him for that. It's over for him. He showed his weakness. Man, he didn't show no weakness. He showed he was a man. He showed he was a man, and he's prepared to. If I made a mistake, and I'll take responsibility for my mistake, and I apologize for my mistake. Now, anybody else like that, you're full of shit. You're part of the problem. Now we can go. Now I got 60.
Ooh, man, you got my blood pressure all up with that one, man. Hit him with your outro, Lonzo.
Like y'all are stupid. You wonder why Chicago is on fire. You wonder why the streets is on fire because you won't let them calm down. You gonna keep on pushing bullshit just so you can get some likes and some followers of the people and some. I mean, calm down. From the same people that think like you. Man, that brother stood up on stage and said, "Hey, man, I apologize, dude." And folks got mad at me. Y'all sick. Y'all need to quit that bullshit. Y'all, this shit
I
be going on too damn
100%
long.
agree. Thank you for saying that, dog. Thank you, man. I forgot to bring that up. Thank you so much. And thank you to the chat. We love you guys so much. And before you go, hit that like button and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit him with that outro, Lonzo.
For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one to put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold, on the eve after dark, 50-yard line Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit. It was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A. stands for Not Without Alonzo. Peace, y'all.